Room tone for 200. That's not room tone.
I know.
You're making noises.
I am.
You're making noises that aren't the room.
Shh, room tone. Was that a gurgle?
No, that was a cough somewhere else.
Oh, right. Okay.
That was a cough here. Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free. Now they're cellulose free.
Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin, and with me, as always, is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son, Thomas.
Hi, hello.
What have you been up to?
It's episode 200.
Huzzah!
And if I'd not been doing other things, maybe I'd be making more of a celebration about it. But here it is.
It is. Here we are, 200. Can you believe it? And now we're going to play a 14-minute retrospective on all of our special episodes.
And which one of us is editing that?
You are.
Great.
That's you.
So
Yeah.
that's not happening, is it?
Oh, great. Fine. All right, then.
This set of 100 episodes, since we came back in 2024, has progressed much the same way as the first 100 episodes of Cellulose Free.
Progressed suggests a moving forward.
Well, the first 100 episodes, average film length, an hour 51.
Right.
Second half, including tonight's film,
Yeah.
an hour 51.
Wow.
Yeah.
How bizarre.
And still under wraps, smaller sample size to
Yeah.
work with. An hour 57.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's got to do with the cellulose wrapper around it. Makes movies longer. I don't know.
Don't know. As far as us talking,
Yeah?
last 100 episodes, average of about 38 minutes an episode,
Uh-huh.
which represents a little over 1/3 of the average of the lengths of the films that we've watched. And back in our episode on Black Bag, that broke the chat ratio record set all the way back at the end of Still Under Wraps. That episode was a little over 60% as long as the film.
Good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's it. That's all the stats that I scratched up.
I am impressed.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Good. What have you been up to?
Would you believe that in the last year, as we've been watching Fast and Furious movies, that
Our listenership has gone down?
No. Perhaps the lengths of the films have, on average, been a little higher than than the rest of this 100. Yeah, and at this stage, I don't think either of us have made any indication that we intend to stop anytime soon.
Oh, I tell you what, Thursdays whilst editing,
Yeah.
I jest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's useful. It's useful to have a sit down and catch up.
It is. It's purely selfish. So if we do happen to have a dear listener or two,
Yeah.
you're welcome to come along for the ride. But
Genuinely, this is how we sit down and talk to each other. So, we tried another way for a year and it didn't.
do note, he is avoiding the question.
What did I get up to in the past week? I went for a walk and saw a dead cat in a gutter.
Ah. I'm just trying to work out whether it was the same dead cat.
Well,
No, probably not. No, I saw the dead cat on Pass Road.
right, then definitely not.
No.
Mine was in the other direction.
Right.
Yeah.
That was in amongst all the dead wallabies and
Well, yes.
paddy melons and...
Those fill me with more sadness than finding a dead collarless cat
Yeah.
just on the road.
That was the first thing that I did, was check whether there was a collar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, less wild cats on the streets and out in the wild is a good thing, and I mean, I'm not particularly fond of animals to begin with, but still a little sad to see.
Yeah.
And so I called that in, and no idea whether it's been dealt with.
Uh-huh.
But that's how it is.
Yeah.
The rest of my walk was unremarkable.
Right.
Yeah.
I did see you. We passed each other yesterday, and
I was heading out, you were heading in.
Yeah. Great adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been watching things, I've been playing things, but I don't really have that much to say about the things that I've been watching and playing, so I guess that's it from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
What's your week been like?
Well, I'm hesitant to raise this because I mentioned that I was heading back.
Yeah.
I had quite a lengthy walk yesterday. And I also had quite a lengthy walk today, both for the same reason, not necessarily to get lots of steps in.
No.
However, I did get over 20,000 steps both days. But I've been distracted by another distraction. And I'm hesitant to mention it because you might be interested in doing it, and I don't want you to be. Yeah. Okay, are you familiar with the mobile game Ingress?
I am.
Okay,
Yep.
So you go out with your phone and GPS and claim areas for, you join a faction, either the greens or the blues. Or
A format that Niantic would then go on to produce much more successfully with Pokemon Go.
That's right. Again, you're protecting an area, your team is protecting an area. And okay, so you're familiar with those?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're familiar with the fact that our remnant public telephone system...
Yes.
One of the things Telstra did was turn pretty much all of them into Wi-Fi hotspots, free Wi-Fi hotspots, but also kept the phones in there and made them free to use as well. But you still very rarely see anyone using them. You might see an uptick in that because someone has gone and created a game that involves those public telephones. You go out and you dial a number on those public telephones, which gives you a recorded message and then asks you to enter your ID number.
Right.
And your ID number is unique to you, and once you've entered that, you claim that public telephone.
Right.
And then if you claim 3 public telephones that are actually joined by a line and form a triangle, you claim the area inside that triangle.
Right.
Okay. So it is only just launched. It's uniquely, well, I assume uniquely Australian because of the circumstances of it's a free phone, and whoever's set up this system can ID the unique phone number, because each of those public telephones do have a telephone number to them. You can actually ring your phone, use caller ID, and find out what the number is for each phone. And then
which is, of course, how the game can work.
That's right. So I went out yesterday and walked along through Warrane and got all the phones through there, through the bus mall, into Eastlands for the public phone that's in there, then up Brosney and claimed the one up there, and then grabbed a couple in Lindisfarne, and then walked all the way just to form a really good area. There's one on Clarence Street, or just below Clarence Street in Belrive. And got quite a good area claimed there. So there's a picture there.
Yeah, that's a fair whack.
Yeah. And I was quite proud of myself that I got that done. And as I say, just over 20,000 steps doing that. And I woke up this morning just to double check, and
it all been undone.
All seemed fine, and then it refreshed, and Tassie's highest scoring player We're saying highest scoring player. It basically started the last week of April.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very new. And so guess what I had to do today?
Yeah, I had to go and get them all again, didn't you?
Not only go get those again, he didn't quite, I say he, and that's terribly sexist of me. I don't know the gender of the person involved here, but I went out and, hang on, I'll see if I can bring that up. So they hadn't done the ones in Lindisfarne,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to claim rain again. They didn't do the one in Belrive,
Mm-hmm.
so I did all of those, caught a bus in Belrive to Clarendon Vale,
Yeah.
grabbed the 3 in Clarendon Vale, Rokeby, and then walked over Droughty Point
Yep.
to the end of Tranmere and claimed the one at the bottom of Tranmere, and then walked home, and that got 22,000 steps. So at the moment, they are mine again, and I do not doubt that they will be reclaimed again, although it's less likely because of the weather,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get some inkling as to, so you get a notification track of when spots have been claimed, and so I could tell which direction this person was going to get all the ones in Warrane.
Mm-hmm.
And how far apart time-wise. So they're obviously in a vehicle. They were heading out of town.
Mm-hmm.
But bizarrely, it was like at 4:30 this morning. So I don't know, but they have by far the most, if you look at all of these green stars, by far the highest scoring in Tasmania and quite high up in the Australian rankings. So there's little over 1,000 participants at the moment. I'm currently ranking at about 200 and something. I don't know. Anyway, this game is called Payphone Tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CBD is a mess.
Oh, yeah. But you call CBD a mess. It's absolutely crazy on the mainland. Like Sydney is just takeovers, and you can bring up stats that show which is the most switched phone booth or a payphone that gets changed over. And, it gives all sorts of stats. I don't know how long I'll keep playing this. There's only so many times that the excitement of going back and reclaiming an area that's easily accessible for someone who doesn't drive, and there was certainly an advantage of having free bus service at the moment, and it was actually quite fun walking over from Rokeby to Tranmere. That only took about 5-10 minutes to walk across, and going past a whole bunch of dead cars, and Anyway, so that's what I've been up to. And now you can see why I'm not particularly interested in you getting excited and involved, because the payphones that are readily accessible to you are also the ones that are readily accessible to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, wasn't that an exciting story worth the sharing and the hearing and the telling?
It looks like it's coded on vibes anyway, so I don't care that much, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been up to. Anyway, we have a film to watch.
We do have a film to watch.
For our 200th episode.
Yep.
A very carefully chosen one.
Yeah.
That was specifically picked because I knew deep down inside that Daniel absolutely loathes this film and so won't be watching it. But he also said he was pretty sure that we watched this for the podcast before.
No.
But we have not.
No, it was during the dead year.
Yeah.
On a whim, I think.
Yep.
I don't think it was even on a Wednesday. It was just... I think I specifically was just like, I want to watch this film.
Yeah.
And so we watched that film, and that was a thing.
Yep. And I can't remember quite how I felt about it. Can you remember quite how you felt about it?
No, I can't remember quite how I felt about it, but I feel like my feelings were interesting enough that, given a further watch, it should jolt something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I described it to those who hadn't seen it as Project Hail Mary without the cute rock monster.
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't know whether we'll have any takers tonight.
Without the cute rock monster and with several more humans.
Yes. Yes. And a little more horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. And paranoia.
It's Sunshine. It's from 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the description on Stan.
Okay.
50 years into the future, the sun is dying, and Earth is threatened by Arctic temperatures. A team of astronauts is sent to revive the sun, but the mission fails. 7 years later, a new team is sent to finish the mission as mankind's last hope.
Bum, bum, bum. We're watching it on Stan.
Yeah.
We could have watched it on Disney Plug, but we're watching it on Stan.
Could we have watched it on Disney Plug?
Apparently we could.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to watch it.
Pick your poison.
Yeah. We're going to come back and talk about it. So, we shall catch you on the flip side.
There's no side B in space.
No. There is no up, there is no down, there is no side to side.
I suppose if you've labelled the sides, then you can pretty easily find side B. But if it's just an unlabelled cassette floating out there, then...
Yeah.
Let's watch the film.
Okay, you mongrel. So, what did you think?
It's okay. It's not a perfect film. It's not a great film. It's maybe barely a good film.
Down a bit, down a bit, down a bit.
And if it's not a good film, then it's just okay.
No, I meant your rating down a bit. Down a bit. Not your volume.
Yeah.
Oh, my brain hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could have been so good, Thomas.
Yeah.
I have some notes.
I also have some notes.
Good. Okay.
I believe both of our first notes are the same note, which is the Fox Searchlight logo.
Yes.
Sort of spin round it, and the lights go out, and then we're staring at the sun.
It is very unusual for Fox to actually do that.
Mm.
Disney do it with their castle,
Yeah.
Princess Castle, and Warner Brothers. Quite often, the actual Warner Brothers logo is thematically redrawn.
Universal from time to time.
Yeah.
We'll do something.
Paramount is famous for its mountain, like Indiana Jones, who would fade into a mountain in the distance and things like that. But
Fox, the most you would usually get was a reorchestration of the theme in order so that the Star Wars theme can start in the same key. Which, worked for the first 6 films, and then Disney bought the whole thing, so it didn't start with the fanfare.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be an integral part of the Star Wars theme experience.
So much so that for years and years and years of my life, that Star Wars fanfare will always start in my mind right after hearing the Fox fanfare.
I get the impression that Searchlight specifically might have been a little less precious about it.
Yeah.
It's not the main brand.
No.
It's something off to the side where we can do more experimental things.
It's interesting you raise the word experimental, because this film was very artsy, experimental flavoured, to its detriment, I think.
We never once get a good look at Pinbacker after he's been burnt.
Yeah.
On his last message well, the message is glitching out,
Yeah.
and he's shrouded in darkness. And then as soon as he is on the Icarus 2, if you are looking at him, you are looking at a blur, that has been applied.
That just... It really... I don't know whether it was sort of visually portraying this fall into insanity or something, as things become less and less clear visually. But that started more audio-wise in the early part and just got worse in the scripting. The dialogue was such that it always felt like a script that was written by a bunch of college kids trying to write like adults. This is what these adults would say. And then the actors had to deliver them. It was never felt like conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Never felt like conversation. Everything felt like they were just reading off the script, and it was painful in places.
So, Searchlight logo, into looking at the sun, and we zoom in on the sun.
Yep.
We zoom in on the sun, and it turns out we're not actually zooming in on the sun. We're zooming in on the reflector of the Icarus 2, and we pan around it, and then we're behind the Icarus 2, and it sort of looks like a pupil shrinking in the light.
Yeah.
And that's good art.
Yeah.
You did a good art there.
Yep. And then we saw some great flyby shots of the Icarus, and so your mind was establishing, okay, this is the outside, does that connect with the inside? And for the most part, you could just about work out how things connect with other things. But then it's almost as if their budget ran out, and so you've got whole swathes of action scenes that are either visually unclear.
Mm-hmm.
I really couldn't get my head around what was going on with the shield repair, how they could be out there. Were they repairing it from the inside or from the outside facing the sun? Or
So they had to tilt the shield in order so that most of it wasn't facing the sun.
Yeah.
How exactly that's supposed to work is...
So that's when I lost grounding as far as those flyby shots. I thought that I knew how this ship functioned, and then that all got thrown out with the shield repair, how that worked and how they could be where they were without the rest of the ship being burned, other than the transmission towers.
Or for that matter, without the people repairing the shield being burned, because the sun's right there.
Yeah, I don't understand. They're still aiming towards this stonking great hot ball of gas, and you cannot escape that. It's just...
The film also subscribes to the don't think too hard about it school of artificial gravity. Because the ship's clearly not really rotating, is it?
No.
It's this...
You've got some rotation, but not in the direction that works for all the action that's going on inside.
If the ship is as long and thin as it appears to be, it needs to be rotating a whole lot faster. And then you have a bunch more problems.
Yeah. And then it gets even more gravity-defying when you're inside something that is basically heading into within the sun.
Yeah.
And the amount of gravity that would be going on there, you couldn't stand up.
No.
Let alone run around and walk around and...
Oh, it's a big thing of heavy metals. It's fine. Don't think too hard about it.
Also, where I couldn't get my head around things, it was they really didn't show the approach to the first Icarus in my mind. All the whole lining up to dock, it was...
Why have you built it to do that in the first place?
Yeah, it just... And then when they separated as well, that didn't... getting your head around where everything was and lined up and where shields were... both ships had shields, was one overlapping the other. I don't know. It was like trying to work out how porcupines mate. Just... Anyway.
So, they have to make their final messages back to Earth.
Yeah.
And only Cillian Murphy's message actually gets through before the winds are too bad.
Yeah.
Which, fair enough. That backdrop.
They're obviously pre-forecasting the backdrop that you will use in Zoom meetings during COVID.
Yeah. Just a green animated digital nothing. Why?
Yeah. Speaking of things moving behind people, the place where the guy who'd slashed his wrists was inside.
The reminders of homeroom that every film involving a long-term
what was
space
it that was
mission.
sort of skittering across the...
It was birds.
Oh, they were birds, were they?
Yeah, those were birds.
Against a white... Right, okay.
Yeah.
They were birds. All right.
No, every film with a long-term space mission must have a reminders of homeroom.
Yeah.
It's a necessity.
It is. All right. Final gripe.
Yeah.
Well, final gripe that I've written down. The oxygen fire.
Yeah.
All right. Would be an intensely hot fire.
Yeah.
And yet there's a person in the corridor surrounded by that intense heat.
The windows were double glazed.
Okay. That's all right then.
Yeah.
My only other note is, after saying cool arty at expense of being able to see what's happening, which I sort of mentioned, and talking about how it was script rather than conversation, I still wrote script is bad.
Yeah.
Again. Just things that were coming out of their mouths were just completely unnatural.
Why did the constructors of both of these vessels build the room that lets you stare into the sun?
The story wouldn't make any sense without it, Thomas.
And it lets you stare into the sun through the shield?
Yes. So there's an opening. It's the...
So the window is on the shield, which is also where the payload is.
Yeah. I don't know. Thomas. I just... Nothing makes sense. It was constantly trying to be arty and, camera shots and slow motion bits and flashes of visions and things like that.
Ooh, it's the crew from the Icarus one, just in your vision for a couple of frames. Because someone shone a light at the camera, I guess. In the final fight with Pinbacker, they tear a bit of his skin off, and there is what is definitely not, because we were watching on Stan, a streaming service, definitely not DVD skips.
No.
Just the audio cuts out and the vision freezes for a moment. Why?
Because arty-farty, I'm trying to be cool, kind of.
And I am absolutely fascinated by the decision to set the final scene in Sydney Harbour, presumably because the Opera House is a recognisable waterfront property. But then where's the bridge in all of this?
And what were those black monoliths?
Probably something in Sydney, but hard to say.
Didn't recognise them. The reason why, Thomas, is because the Statue of Liberty is cliche.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But,
Oh, Thomas.
But yeah. No. Okay.
I think this was a well-picked film for our 200th episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got heaps out of it.
Yeah.
And then over the credits, we got to see the whole film again, but only bits of it. As it slowly crawled in the opposite direction to the rest of the credits.
Yeah. Oh. And of course, if I was to say I don't understand, Thomas, I suspect there would be people who would be saying, well, your brains are too highly trained.
By the way,
Yes.
here is the cascading failure that led to meeting up with the Icarus one.
Yeah.
So, manually routing to the Icarus one causes a shield problem. Fixing the shield destroys the comms. The sun on the destroyed comms destroys the oxygen garden. The destroyed oxygen garden results in inability to deliver the payload or return to Earth. And the oxygen loss forces rendezvous to Icarus 1. The circle of stupidity is complete.
Oh, dear. Yeah, it really was a stupid film. Still trying to be really smart and arty. And it really could have been. Okay, do you remember the movie The Core?
Yes.
They drill into it, and stupid things happen in that.
Yeah.
But you can accept that stupid things are happening. That is a disaster film. Whereas this film was a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about...
Well, it didn't make its budget back. Its $40 million budget didn't make that back.
Wow. Can I ask, because I didn't look.
Yeah.
I deliberately didn't look. What is its Rotten Tomatoes score?
76%.
Right.
For an average of 6.8.
Okay.
Which, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Metacritic?
Metacritic, 64.
Right.
Yeah. I think one of these reviews is like, oh, it becomes a slasher movie towards the end. And it does.
It does, but not... It doesn't even get that right.
No.
Because you've got the female sort of being chased around, and to get it right, she would have had to have been having a shower.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But anyway. Oh, Thomas. Do you have anything else to say?
No. I think that's it.
Okay. I think I have Daniel's comments about his recollections of this echoing in my head. He didn't say much other than, why? I said, I seem to recall I kind of, like, no. So I think he dodged a bullet here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on.
Yes, let's.
The following segment has no title. Thank you.
And we will start over on Discord with Entuosferatu.
Hi, Entuosferatu.
I have as little to say about the absent-minded professor as you do. I'm sure I've seen it.
I'm sure
That's
you have.
about all.
Yeah.
Games, I was definitely referencing hint lines specifically for Sierra Online games.
Yep.
Thomas, feel free to subject him to the relevant video, you know the one. The relevant video, of course, is a loading ready run crapshot from 2017 called The Tip Line, in which Graham plays a very beleaguered, definitely been in a basement for some time, tip line help desk person.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, Cameron's character, I think something about spoilers? Yeah, something about spoilers, and then hangs up on him. Tangent. Nosferatu continues. Famously, this murdered the local phone network for the tiny town near where I grew up, where their offices were located.
Wow.
The Sierra Nevada foothills phone infrastructure was not prepared for how many people were desperate for hints, and so locals would often not make any calls all day as all lines were busy.
That stinks. But, of course, that would never happen these days.
No.
With data centres that are causing brownouts throughout areas that
Wouldn't happen.
No.
People would stop it.
No, that's right.
Yeah. People in power with the opportunity to stop it would stop it.
Yeah.
He continues, besides these, I seem to remember that we learned this stuff from the magazines themselves, hint books/guidebooks, and of course, playground rumours, which were often false.
Yep.
Until the rise of the mighty Game FAQs, RIP. Game FAQs is not technically dead. It still exists.
Yeah.
It is under the ownership of one fandom.com, so who knows how long it will actually stick around for. It still exists. You can still find just text files. Some of the more recent guides are rich HTML, but there's still text files that I remember finding there, up on there.
Yeah.
Mostly for Lego Star Wars.
Ah, yes.
You want to know where all the things are, and your best option is some text that vaguely describes where the things are. Re Alan D. Foster, I agree, he did the original Star Wars novelizations, which are pretty great, and then 9 minutes passes.
9 minutes later.
Novelization, singular, the next two are by others. Ghostwritten, though, only Lucas's name is on it, but it has all the weird stuff that came with a film that didn't really count on getting a sequel that got ignored or retconned later.
Yeah, and then I interrupt here when I read that, which he hasn't seen.
No.
Splinter of the Mind's Eye by Alan Dean Foster, which was written by him as an attempt to write something that could be made cheaply as a sequel in case the first one wasn't terribly successful. And I bought it as a Scholastic book, Scholastic book service at school where you could order books. And keeping in mind that it was my first access to more Star Wars after Star Wars, and absolutely loved it. I read that and thought, I really hope this is going to be made into a movie. And of course it wasn't, because Star Wars made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they decided to make Empire Strikes Back, which cost them like 4 times more than they'd budgeted for. And so it got really ugly. I was actually listening to a podcast today about it, which also mentioned Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which was quite funny. But yeah, I love that book. And again, love Alan Dean Foster's writing.
And then Lucas kept making films, and then stopped for a bit, and then made some more, and then stopped. And
well, interesting in this podcast, he had absolutely no interest in having much to do with a Star Wars sequel. He was completely burnt out by it, but still ended up, he arranged for other people to write and direct and what have you, but then couldn't keep his hands off it. So,
and then the prequels. And then there's a long gap in which a man named Dave Filoni shows up and does Clone Wars for some number of seasons, and then that goes away, and then there's the sequel movies. And now we're living in a world where Filoni's vision is paramount to the continuation of this franchise.
Yeah.
And like Lucas before him, Some of his ideas are brilliant, and some of them are not.
Not. No.
That's a guess. We get down to, over on Facebook, Helen,
Hi, Helen.
who I'm going to say happy birthday to, here on this podcast, and not anywhere else.
Right.
Which means, of
Nowhere
course, that
else.
it will appear before Helen in some time after it has actually passed. Given that it is today as we are recording this.
Indeed.
Helen writes, apologies for my current sporadic listening habits. I have good intentions, but time pressures and, relevantly, a touch of absent-mindedness, but without the full academic title.
I used to have absent-mindedness, but now... What was I saying?
Thomas's perambulations would have been particularly impressive if he'd managed to cross the East Derwent Highway from any of the locations mentioned on his walk. There was an opportunity. I could have crossed the East Derwent Highway as I was approaching Rose Bay High School from the west, because the path from the highway goes round and eventually comes across an overpass. But I could have taken off over the very end of the East Derwent Highway.
I went over that very overpass yesterday.
But I didn't. Instead, I went along Gordon's Hill.
Yep.
Colin, meanwhile, needs to be careful to what podcasts he listens to in future, lest it trigger something more calamitous than a bee sting. That is quite the coincidence, but mathematically coincidences are bound to occur at a surprisingly frequent rate.
No, it was the universe, Helen.
Which, with a comment on Discord from E of Pi,
Hi, E of Pi.
will take us up to the guesses. Entwosferatu says he has no idea for this week and is excited for Little Miss Sunshine next week. E of Pi says, my guess, if I understand the pre-episode banter correctly, is Nutty Professor. NTYPRFSR. You have not understood the pre-episode banter correctly. It almost would have been a riff on Nutty Professor until I noticed that it was going to be a riff on Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
And informed Colin that no, once again, the film we are watching is not the Nutty Professor in either of its iterations.
No.
And so it was changed before we started recording.
It was.
Helen is going along the right sort of lines with I shall select Besant Prof and be wrong, no doubt. That's BSNTPROF. You are wrong. There's no doubt about that. I did tell you to ignore most of the words, and you have included most of the words, so...
Apart from minded.
Well, sort of depends. What do you take a hyphen for?
Don't know.
Yeah. The correct answer was absentment. ABSNTMND. So no arbitrary points to be awarded there.
Wasn't that a fun game, everybody? Let's
luck.
do that again.
Yeah.
Let's make it really hard this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's pick a film that definitely doesn't have exactly 8 characters in its title. And then let's not definitely just use all 8 of those characters in the file name.
Hang on. I need to throw in something that will just absolutely confuse everyone and say, and definitely don't put it in backwards.
No. Don't do that.
No.
That one would actually be silly.
Yeah.
And if you'd done that, I'd be sounding a little more upset about this whole charade. But
I have a cunning plan.
Well, I suppose you could just change the file name now.
Hang on.
It wouldn't matter. It's just it's just naming a folder that files are in. So yeah. Please, dear listener, if you have a guess for what this week's file name could possibly be from the film Sunshine, or film suggestions, or comments on our comments, or the film that we've watched.
Yeah, if you've got some deep insight into the film Sunshine that we haven't previously mentioned or been aware of, please tell us we were wrong as far as our disappointment in this film.
Yes, watch this film and then tell us we're wrong.
Demonstrate that your mind is far bigger trained than our brains are. Did that any of that make sense? I think I might be having a migraine.
Oh, well, we should probably wrap up soon then, shouldn't we? Links are in the show notes, or just comment wherever it is that you're consuming this.
Yeah.
And, probably get to that next week.
Yep. I think we'll move on.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed.
And it's your turn.
It is my turn, and it has been for weeks.
Oh, really?
So...
Fast and Furious 28. Great.
So we return to our series retrospective on the Herbie films with 1974's Herbie Rides Again. Because, we've done the living car does races archetype. Now we have to do the inexplicable thing saves a historical monument from destruction by developer archetype.
Please tell our dear listener. Oh, you already have. You just did. Yeah. Can you dig up a semi-official blurb?
I do need to check one thing because...
Whether it is actually on Disney+.
No, it is.
Right.
It is. I just need to check. Yes.
Yes? Mm-hmm. Good.
Here is the description from Disney+. Herbie is back in gear, revved up and ready for more madcap comedy adventure. This time Herbie's leading lady is Helen Hayes, superb in the very first screen comedy of her illustrious career. Aided by co-stars Ken Berry and Stephanie Powers, she's out to save her beloved Victorian firehouse home from the wrecking ball of greedy real estate tycoon Alonzo A. Hawke, played by Keenan Wynn, Disney's most lovable villain. It's up to Herbie and his bug battalion to come through in the clutch. Fasten your seatbelts. Contains tobacco depictions. The character in The Absent-Minded Professor was named Alonzo P. Hawke.
Ah.
So, there's some plausible deniability as to whether these are actually the same character.
Indeed.
Even though it's all owned by Disney.
Yeah. And it's set in the same town.
No.
No?
No.
Huh, why did I think that?
No, Herbie is San Francisco, I think?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. What was I thinking of that's set in the same town?
You're probably thinking of The Absent-Minded Professor and The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Which are both set in and around Medfield College.
Yes. Okay, I'll pull my head in.
Yeah.
And press the stop button
Which,
without saying goodbye to our...
We might get to at some point, but not right now.
Not right now.
No.
Next week, we're watching Herbie Rides Again. We hope that you can join us, but until then, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us, in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
Say something funny so that I can add it to the end.
And slate. Two, 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 two.
Good. That was excellent
Well.
for getting levels.
Well, if you'd like some actual levels...
Yeah, that'll do.
I can provide you with some actual levels that aren't going to be very useful because I'm going to have to get up and turn off the air conditioner.